I see sous chef Patrice is now chopping some carrots and celery, some fennel on that board too. That Patrice is a slicing and dicing machine. We should just call him Patrice-o-matic.
Hollandaise sauce. Scary, don't you? I would be scared if I was you. It's not that difficult, but you got to pay attention to the heat. You can overcook it very easily in a double bain-marie, and you also want to cook it enough. This way, if you have salmonella and to the egg yolks, it is completely cooked. All right. So you already know how to make clarified butter because I show you that in my previous video. If you search a little bit, you can see how to make the clarified butter. So what do we need first? Of course, egg yolks. I'm going to do today about 2 egg yolks. I would say for 2 egg yolks, you could have about 6 ounces of clarified butter. To get 6 ounces of clarified butter, if you start with 8 ounces of whole butter and clarify it down, you should get 6 ounces. That gives you 2 egg yolks, probably enough for 3 or maybe 4 eggs Benedict. All right. So I have a pot in here already, kind of simmering. Okay. Let me go ahead and put another egg in here because I only have 1. We're going to keep the egg whites for another application. Maybe we do a meringue or egg white omelet. That's good also. Huh? All right. I'm going to add a pinch of salt. And now what's important is I'm also going to add a little bit of water in those eggs to make my hollandaise a little bit lighter. Okay. So how much water do you put in it? Here's what I've been doing all my life as I made plenty of hollandaise is it's not so much about how much I use, it's what do I see when I put the water in the egg. So what I'm going to do is put a little bit of water in here. You can see this is about, I would say, a 1/4 tablespoon roughly. But I'm going to whip those eggs in here, and I don't see any large bubble happening. There's no foam. So I'm going to add a little bit more. And I whisk it quickly. There you go, right there, a little bit more maybe. Perfect. And you can see right there some foam, and that means that I have a sufficient amount of water, and that's going to create a very light hollandaise sauce. Okay, so I've got my water in here simmering. I'm going to tone it down a little bit. I want to make sure also that the bowl is not touching the water because otherwise it's going to cook it too fast. Okay, and I'm going to place that over the double bain-marie, and I'm going to whisk it. And how long do you whisk it for? Until you have a nice sabayon, until it becomes nice and thick. Make sure the eggs are not starting to cook on the bottom. Then in this case, you can transform the whole thing into scrambled eggs. Mine as well. Huh? All right. Whisk it by moving the bowl around, making sure that the water is not boiling. I'm going to tune this even more. All right. Keep on whisking and moving the bowl. You don't want to stay in one spot. There you go. You go back and forth like this. You don't have to whisk it at 100 miles an hour, as long as everything is moving. All right. And I'm going to be looking for, if I see the bottom of the bowl, then I'm making the hollandaise, the sabayon here. That's a sign that the eggs are getting thicker, and I'm getting close to have those eggs already cooked. All right. Keep on moving the bowl like that. Always checking, making sure that the water is not boiling. All right. Also, I have some clarified butter sitting on the side, and the clarified butter needs to be in the little bit warm temperature. I would say probably around 95 degrees or 100 degrees. Just put your finger in here, and if you feel that it is nice and warm, that's good. Too hot, we probably break the hollandaise, so you got to be careful of that. That's what I said earlier: temperature, temperature, and temperature. All right. My eggs looks good in here. You can see, we can see the bottom as I whisk it. I'm going to bring it to my curling board in here. I'm going to bring my clarified butter also. I'm going to warm it up because I just touched it and I didn't think it was hot enough. What would happen if I put cold clarified butter in my eggs? First of all, it's going to get really thick and it's going to break, and I don't want to do that. Now, another thing also I can give you as advice is make the hollandaise at the last minute, which means you almost, whatever you're doing with this, serving a piece of fish or making some eggs Benedict, your eggs already poached, you do place the eggs on the bread, you keep them warm, you make a hollandaise, put on top of the eggs, and send it out. That's the best way, okay? So my clarified butter in here is warm now. I can Let me double check. This is perfect, okay? And a little bit at a time. It's almost like making a mayonnaise. In fact, it is a hot emulsion. Oops, I put salt on myself. You don't want to do that. It's just an option. So a little bit of butter in here, a little bit at a time, especially at the beginning, and incorporate this butter into your sabayon, right? If you notice it, that the sabayon is getting a little thick, what you can do is add a little bit of, actually a little bit of lemon juice, which is part of the recipe. We're going to need to put some acid into that. So I'm going to start a little bit with the lemon juice, all right? But you got to be careful not to put too much lemon juice, then it will be too acidic. If in that case, the Hollandaise start to get too thick on you, a little bit of water is perfectly okay, all right? So you can see here a little bit at a time, whisking as you add the clarified butter. You don't want to make it too running also. Otherwise, if you put on the top of eggs Benedict, it will run off the plate, off the eggs. Doesn't look as good, okay? This one looks very nice. All right, very good. A little bit more butter. There we go. I think my consistency in here is the way I want it. So that's fun. All right, very nice. This is good. Now we're going to finish this up with a little bit of cayenne pepper. Now I like to mention something in here, the cayenne pepper. This is not going to be a hot, spicy sauce. It needs to be a very mild sauce. So what I want you to do is just a pinch of cayenne pepper like that, and that's plenty right here. And I'm going to mix this up. All right. I'm going to go ahead and also test it. I want to make sure I have enough lemon juice and enough salt. All right, so a little bit of taste in there. I would add a little bit of lemon juice. I like my Hollandaise to be really acidic. All right, that looks pretty good. The salt was okay. All right, very nice. Excuse me. It's the cayenne pepper. I swear I didn't put too much. It just had to be on the back of my throat in here. All right, this is very nice. Let me grab a plate just to show you, what it looks like. Yep, this is a little bit a big layer in here, but look, if I had to cover an egg, for example, and don't do this, okay? It's just an example, okay? All right, look at that. Let me make sure that if it was a poached egg, oops, keep on rolling. But you see, if it was a poached egg, it would rot it. Please do not do that at home. You can't eat this like that. You got to poach the eggs, okay? But just for tasting in here, you can see that it will look perfectly, all right? So listen, now you know how to poach an egg. You know how to clarify butter. You know how to make a Hollandaise. Now you know how to make a lot of things, a lot of good things, all right? Don't forget to subscribe. And of course, go on my website, chefpatrice.tv, for more information and more video. And I'll see you when you poach those eggs, okay? See you.
They got some pretty good culinary noggins to Patrice at it. That Patrice is a slicing and dicing machine.